Hi everyone, this is Yvonne from Yvonne Ceramics. In today's video, I'll be glazing this bowl that I made using porcelain clay. So this is glazed with two different types of crystalline glazes. So I'll be glazing this with you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos each week. Alright, let's take a look at some of the items we'll be glazing today. So I've got some smaller mugs, a medium-sized mug, a taller mug. I might not be glazing all the mugs. Maybe I'll just do one mug. I haven't decided yet. This one, I might do it because it has a crack here. So I might chuck this, unfortunately. Then I got little test bowl here. Because crystalline glaze is not food safe, so I won't be glazing the inside. I'll be glazing the outside, unless I'm using this bowl as decoration only. A little cup here and a bigger bowl here. So for this bigger bowl, I plan on using this for serving, so I won't be eating from the inside. I'll only glaze the outside of this bowl, and I won't be touching my lips on the edge of this bowl. So this is mostly for serving bowl, which is fine with me. I know some people still don't like to have any crystalline glaze and food related, but I'm okay with that as long as the inside, the part where I'm touching food, is not glazed with crystalline. I'm okay with that. But then for selling, if I were to sell, I won't put any crystalline glaze with that is for food. I only do it for little trinkets or sculptures. So now that we know what we are glazing, some of the items, they have a little bit of dust, so I'm going to get my sponge and just kind of clean off the dust first, because these are bisque item and it's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time. So I'm just gonna quickly clean off the dust. And since I'm glazing items that are a little bit bigger this time and on the outside of the vessel, it will be a bit different from my other video where I'm only glazing the inside of trinket dishes. So we all know crystalline glazes, they run a lot, and this time I'm doing the outside of the items. I'll need to use catchers and basins. So this will be a very typical catcher and pedestal that you'll see sometimes on Instagram. So this would be the catcher here, and this is the pedestal. Sometimes you'll see it in one piece, and sometimes you'll see just a catcher and then a different pedestal here. So I've got different kinds that I'm going to show you in a bit. So let's talk about the catcher and the pedestal for the vessels. So this is some scrap clay that I have rolled out into a slab and then just build a wall around it just to catch the runny glaze so it doesn't go onto the kiln shelf. And same for this one, except that this one I also built the pedestal and then attached it onto the basin. Sometimes I don't do it, I just do this part, and then I go on the potter's wheel and throw a tall cylinder and then cut sections off, because along the cylinder that I throw on the wheel, there will be different sizes of the pedestal, which I can be used for different size of the vessel. So these are all the rings that I have that I can just put onto the catcher like that. So this way it's more flexible for me to find the correct size for my vessel. So for example, here, this is a little bowl, and that's the foot of my bowl, right? Here. And so in order to find the correct size to use for the pedestal, I need to make sure that it has to be smaller than the size of the foot ring. So for example, if I use this one, it's too big as a pedestal for this because it's bigger than the size of the foot ring. Let's find a smaller one. This one is also too big. Let me try to find some other smaller ones. This one. This one. Okay, I have to keep looking, but let's find one that's a little bit bigger. Yeah, so that's why I have many rings to try to find the correct size. So this one, this is the foot ring. This for this mug. Let's see. This one's too big. This one's almost, but it's still a little bit big. This one's also almost. So I couldn't find a small enough ring for these two, so I have to save this guy for another firing. But this mug, I did find a good size for this ring. So as you can see, it is smaller than the foot ring. So this would be perfect for this one. And this one, this bowl that I have, you can see here, it is small. It's a little bit, it can be smaller than the foot ring, but make sure it's not too small and it's flush to the surface of the foot of the bowl. So this would be good. You need to try to find one that is about the same or just a little bit smaller than the foot. Because when the glaze it'll run here, and then you have to try to separate the bowl and the pedestal. And then after I find my pedestal, I could just use one of these catchers and just place it like that, and this goes on here like that, just like that. And then I have this special glue that I'm going to use as well. So I made this crystalline glue, but unfortunately has dried up. It's Elmer's glue, the white screw glue with, I believe, is alumina mixed together. But basically what I need the glue for is to glue the pedestal onto the foot ring so that it doesn't move while I glaze. So I'm just gonna put a layer of white glue here. Just like that, just a generous coat of white glue. And then it'll just burn off in the kiln. Just gonna make sure it's nice and on the foot ring. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit more glue onto the outside of the ring as well. Just to seal it off. So when I'm glazing, the glaze doesn't get into the crack, hopefully. Okay, so now I am going to just let this dry on the side and do the other one here. So same thing, I'm gonna put glue here. And then just going to put this on, making sure it's good all around. And then also put a little bit on the edge here. Alright, so the glue has dried. You can see I can lift this up and this is not dropping, so it's good. I'm going to start with glazing the inside. I am using the Cherry Blossom Celadon glaze. Just gonna get a bunch of glaze in here and just kind of quickly swoosh it around because of how big of a surface area this bowl is. So with this glaze, I need to glaze it 2 to 3 times. So just gonna now let it dry. As for the mug here, this one as well, the white glue has dried. So I'm gonna glaze this on the inside. I'll be using the Cobalt Celadon glaze from Amaco. Let me just kind of mix it around a little bit first and coat the inside. Okay, and then I'm also doing the rim of this mug as well. So with this, because I pour in a thick coat, I don't need to do 2 to 3 coats, and I'm actually have a lot of extra. I'm just gonna scoop some out and put it back into my jar. So I'm going to let this all dry before I glaze the outside. So the inside of this cobalt has kind of somewhat dry now. I'm going to start with glazing the outside of this mug. I'm going to glaze the whole thing on the outside with this blue crystalline glaze, the blue crystal. It's going to be really pretty. Because if you see how much it ran, so you can kind of still see the line here. This line I marked it. It is 3 centimeters from the bottom of the vase, and you can see how much it ran. So my plan is to, let me get my glazes here. So that's my blue crystalline glaze. My plan is to do 1 coat from 3 centimeters to the bottom. So I have made a pencil mark here. Now if you can see, this is where the 3 centimeter mark is. I'm going to do 1 coat just on this side. I know already it will run, but I don't want it to run so much. I'll do 1 here. So this is gonna be the 3 centimeter from here to here will be 3 centimeter. So now that I have done the 1 coat that is 3 centimeter to the bottom, now I am going to do the rest of the mug with 5 generous coat. So the manufacturer said that with the crystalline glaze, you need to put on 3 to 4 coats, but I find that it's actually nicer if you put a little bit more, because it's also hard to define what is a generous coat. So I just like to be on the safe side to just put on 5 coats. I know it's a little bit expensive to put on so much glaze on one item, but I don't plan on selling these. I'm just gonna use it myself. So I just want to make sure I have a nice product. So while the mug is drying, let's get a start on my bowl. So because there's so much surface on the bowl, I plan on doing the pink crystalline glaze to here, to a little bit on the tip. And then on here will be the yellow and blue, this one here. the yellow background and blue crystals on here all the way to the bottom. I did a pencil mark here. I'm not sure if you can see. This is the 3 centimeter mark to the bottom. So this part will be just one coat of the glaze. I'll show you the textile I did. So you can see this is also the 3 centimeter mark, and it did run a lot. But I think it'll be nice to have the two color, the pink and the yellow, on the same bowl. So I'll start with the one coat here, which is this glaze. Okay, it's gonna have this one coat all the way to the bottom. So I did the one coat all around the bowl with this glaze. Now I'm going to do 5 coats from about here to where the 3 centimeter mark is. It's just a kind of like a general. It doesn't have to be like exact. The reason why I want to do only one coat there is because I don't want it to run that much, knowing that already it will run. It's just a hope that it won't run that much by just putting on one coat there. So I did 5 coats of that glaze. Now I'm left with this band here on the top, which I'm going to glaze with this pink crystalline glaze. Knowing that it'll run, it'll probably be a really pale pink color running into this one, which is a yellow background color. So it'll be interesting to see what it'll look like. It's okay to overlap a little bit of these two glazes together, because they will run anyway, so it's okay to overlap a little bit. So it doesn't have to be very exact when you're glazing. So I'm going to do the same thing, doing 5 coats of this glaze. So I finished glazing the whole bowl, did 5 coats of each of the crystalline glazes. You can see that the overlap is not very straight, and that's completely fine. I did glaze all the way to the bottom here, and this part is just one coat of the glaze, and inside is the cherry blossom celadon glaze. So I unloaded the kiln, and this is what it looks like. I'm glad that it didn't actually drip past the catcher. If you want to see me unload the kiln, I have a video on that. But I love the colors transition from pink to yellow, and the blue crystals mostly just pulled onto the bottom here. There's some smaller pink crystals, not many, like here and here. Not a lot of crystals. Most of the ones pulled right here. The inside just clear. It's beautiful white, that beautiful color that you normally get from porcelain. And here's the mug. Most of the crystal ran down here, so it fused to the catcher. I'm a little bit disappointed with how many crystals there are, so I might refire this. Most of them are on the bottom and here. The inside is the cobalt. It's a nice deep blue color. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.